Okay, hey everybody, welcome to All Things Music. My name is Aaron Matthews. For those who don't know me, I'm redoing this video. I originally recorded it on January 1st, 2022, but I was just coming off of COVID and was really, really sick, and my voice was terrible. I'm still kind of losing it a little bit every now and then, but so this was my first video to announce that I'm going to start doing these videos and see how it goes. I tried this before, but I'm getting some tips from you guys. So the trick, I guess, is to just do it consistently and just wait for things to build and grow and my audience to grow. And I've been getting good tips from you guys already, so I appreciate that. So I call it beginning on the downbeat. You guys will see me later, and you can see in my practice pad video, for example, pad power workout, that I am in a wheelchair. So I call it beginning on a downbeat because of that. I was born on March 6th, 1971, and I was a regular baby. I didn't cry a lot. My mom said I was really good. About 6 months, it appeared that I was advancing, and I was crawling and doing everything that babies do, but I was having trouble with my legs, and my mom said that I would drag my legs behind me when I crawled. So at 8 months, I had already been to a couple doctors, and they were just saying, I'm being lazy, and she'll carry me why would I want to walk. So at 10 months, my parents took me to a Shriners hospital, and that is where I was diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. It's called polyarticular because it affects all parts of my body, legs and arms, and upper body, lower body. It's a systemic form in that it does affect the organs and everything, not just the joints. And it also just affects everything, longevity, and just a lot of things. So I was finally diagnosed, put on all kinds of treatments throughout my childhood. I was born also, I should have told you, in Utica, New York. Technically New Hartford, New York. We lived in Utica and New Hartford. My parents divorced when I was 2, went into foster care. My brother and I were split up, and we came back to live with Grandma and Dad. Dad was a musician. Dad played drums, guitar, piano, trumpet, trombone, piano, I think I said, bass, and he sang. He had a drum set, a red Slingerland, I believe it was. He had a Slingerland and a Ludwig. One was red, one was blue. And I think the red one was the Slingerland, if I remember correctly. I would watch him play that all the time. I couldn't run around and play with other kids, so a neighbor brought me a set of Kiss collector cards. You would get bubblegum in the cards, like trading cards. We had baseball cards and all that too, but Kiss was a big thing back in the 70s, and their B-movie that was on TV, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, was on, and I collected all that stuff. My first album was Kiss Alive 2. So listening to Dad and listening to the record, I wanted to be a musician. And I knew that right from the get-go, and I wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to take lessons in school, but my dad didn't think I'd be able to play, even though he encouraged me in most things. Taught me to read when I was like 3.5, almost 4. And I was reading Edgar Allan Poe in 1st grade. But he just, in that one area, he just didn't think I'd be able to do it. So, at any rate, my great-grandfather was a Hollywood actor, a Keystone Cop, and he was on episodes of Dick Van Dyke. Nasty Nuisance was one of the movies, any parody-type movies back in the 40s and 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, that would deal with, like, satire, political satire. He always played Mussolini. Joe Devlin, Sometimes he goes by Christopher Joe Devlin or Joe Christopher Devlin. But that was the original last name from Ireland. We changed it to Matthews. The story goes either he was trying to get away from the mob because his brother was a gangster in the 20s, Frank Devlin, who was killed by the Legs Diamond Gang, or he was trying to get away from a wife, an ex-wife. So we don't know. He came to New York, lived in New York City, came upstate, and now we are Matthews. So, but, and then his son, my dad's dad, my grandfather, who I never met, he died when my dad was 14, excuse me, was a musician, world-renowned, touring, the Bob Matthews Trio. Dad was a musician, played in Moondance, his band that he started. He played guitar and sang for. They were a cover band. My Uncle Kevin played bass. I think he might have played in that band briefly, but he was with Justice McBride and Weather Report. He was touring. I think he was on an album. And then high school came, and I wanted to start playing. So, Dad had remarried, and my step-uncle, if that's a word, gave me a pair of drumsticks, and I started tapping with those. Got playing around in a band at school with some friends. In Arizona, the big thing back in the 80s was the punk rock movement coming out of LA at the time. Orange County, like Social Distortion, and then some of the stuff back here, like the Ramones were big, stuff like that. So we had that going on out there, and I learned a lot of that and played that. Came back to New York in 90. Dad was dying. He ended up dying March 13th, 1991. But got reunited with my mother, finished up school, and moved out on my own. But high school, she bought me my first drum set, a Yamaha electric set that I blistered pretty quickly, and started playing on a Tama 5-piece with Zildjian cymbals. Played that for about 10 years. No, almost 15 years. Traded that in for, I ended up getting a D-drum with Zabian cymbals. I'll do a video on that at some point. Started playing music really quick. As soon as I got my drum set, I was in a band. I started my band, Araya, that year. About 6 months later, I practiced for 6 hours a day for the first at least year. Started writing a little bit, but I wasn't very good then. But wrote some stuff that we played live, and it went over okay, but primarily a hard rock and punk rock metal band. Doing all kinds of stuff, playing parties and whatever. My first gig was on K-Rock, Bill Keeler in the morning show, that Christmas Eve, for when he got all the local people together, and they did their thing on the air. At that time, I didn't have a band yet, and the band that I was supposed to play with didn't show up. So I played by myself, and it went really cool. Got some good feedback. First band was going, Araya was moving into 92. We started gigging. And that's changed over the years. We now have 3 CDs out. A 3-track EP, a 2-track single, and a full 9-track album. But I've played in many bands over the years throughout Central New York. Black River Revival was a classic rock band. We had an offshoot of that, which was going to be a blues band. I played in an alternative 80s and 90s metal band, a couple of those. Played in a church band. I played Saturday nights at the Lutheran church where I went, and was the drummer there for 5 years. Been playing still. Writing, recording is going to be coming up more, hopefully. But, I started playing, and I just haven't gone back. A couple of years ago, with the especially with the COVID thing, people were whining about just being locked in, whatever. And here I picked up a bass and started playing. I had one, I tinkered with it. If it doesn't come quick, sometimes I put it down and say I'll come back to it another time. So, yeah, which is why I'm starting my channel again here. And hopefully I build some traction. Looks like I am slowly, so that's awesome. But, I learned about 230 songs since COVID started. And I'll do a video today on how to learn new material and how I did it. Catch that at 1 o'clock on this channel, by the way, in the All Things Music playlist. But, I just, that's my thing. I play music very young at the same time in Moondance. I had already gotten a Bible from my mother. I wanted a children's Bible. I was already interested in God because I knew there was something more to life than being sick and in pain and limited in what I can do. Excuse me. So, my dad's band, Moondance, had a trumpet player his name was Rodney Pickle. He was a Methodist minister, and he would come to practice in his collar. And, my dad was never big into, the profane stuff, or vulgar, or perverted. He was a good guy, he just played music. He played clean music, stuff that was on the radio, top 40, 70s, 80s, 60s, some 50s. And just, he was just about playing the music. And he did well. He played all over. And mainly the Best Western circuit. Back then you would have where you could play the Best Western hotels. And they would put you up in a room. So you could kind of tour a little bit with that. And so he was good with that. For me, I wanted to go farther than that. I did live gigs, drum teacher. I've been a member. I was a member. I got to get back to them. I haven't seen them in a while, and I've done some writing for the Disabled Drummers Association. But I've done studio sessions. I co-wrote an album with a guy, which was like a cross between Pink Floyd and Billy Joel. We called the project Shared Madness. You could check that out online. I'll get copies for anybody that wants to hear some. It was all original. We did 11 tracks, I think it was. But I've done everything. I teach drum lessons. I'm going to start teaching bass. I'm actually advancing quick enough that I can begin with teaching beginner bass. And who knows what the future holds for me. I went to school. Going back to Rodney Pickle real quick, and I'll wrap up. I went to school for theology. I'd always been interested in what, the purpose of life is. And, the Bible answers it in one sentence, one verse. Check out Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. That's the meaning of life. And, it really just taught me to be a decent person and that there is a purpose to be here, and I shouldn't waste my life. And so, right now things are kind of opening up sort of in New York, but 2015, I played we lived in Murray briefly for about 5 years, briefly. And I was hired out there to play in a metal band that was Christian based. Not all the guys in it acted right, but the lyrics were kind of Christian based, biblically based. One of the songs, Father of Lies, John 8:44. But, I toured with them for a summer. 2017 and 18, I was preaching at a couple nursing homes and church that I filled in for the pastor when he wasn't there. Opportunities come, and I'm always ready for them. I stay busy, I stay focused, and I am going to keep doing these videos. I'm going to give it, I figured I would give it some time and see what happens. If it doesn't build traction, it's not time wasted because I'm busy, I'm doing things. I put a lot into putting these videos together. So I really do hope that, my channel grows. I love doing the playthroughs. I've got 3 playlists. Something should appeal to everybody. If you are a Christian, I have one playlist is called Sword and Spirit. That's going to be all Bible messages, my guest preaching, teaching. I'm going to have all kinds of surprises and stuff on that. A weekly message on Sundays, obviously, but other things too, random. So click the bell and subscribe so you can be updated on those. All Things Music, this channel, I'm going to upload every Saturday and Wednesday, which I've been doing since January 1st. And then I've also got a third one, which I'm doing, which is bass playthroughs. I'm going to get better on the angle, guys, but at least you can hear me play the songs for now. And I'm going to get more overhead shots so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. But check out my Get the Job Done video. My hands are like this all the time, and I fret with my knuckles, but go check that out. I'm updating that probably daily or every other day. I'm just going to put all the songs I know on there and add to it. So I'm going to cut this out now before the battery dies. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. But yeah, you know, most of my family has passed away. I've got 2 aunts and 1 cousin left on my mom's side, and very few on my dad's side. I wasn't supposed to live as long as I have. So, you know, we're not guaranteed tomorrow, but I just stay busy and try to stay focused. Losing some weight and getting back in shape, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm committed. I'm committed to do these videos and keep coming to you guys. So if you have any questions, I think I answered everything, right? Surgeries. I've had a few surgeries. Knee replacements. I had tendon releases when they snip your knees. Busted my femur in 3 places in Murray. I have a rod in my hip. Lost 1 leg for reasons we still can't figure out. Excuse me. And that's pretty much it. Lost the vision in my left eye. Had surgery on my right eye. I was losing the vision. Had a band keratopathy. Diagnosed with myotonic muscular dystrophy when I was 33. And other than that, I'm still plugging. You know, I get around like this on wheels in the house. And I've got an electric one for outdoors. I think that's probably it. But keep watching these guys. Share the videos you like. And I'll be back. And yeah, that's it. Oh, okay. Sorry, one more question. I forgot the answer. And then I'll let you go. You know, somebody was asking about my education. I have an associate's in addictions counseling, a bachelor's in clinical sociology, social work. I always wanted to be a counselor. I got my master's in pastoral theology for preaching and leading church, and all things that, you know, ministers do, which I was ordained. And then my doctorate is in biblical counseling, nouthetic counseling. I can counsel anybody and charge a lot of money, and I don't do that. I charge $20 an hour to keep it reasonable for anybody who needs help. So that is my education, and I love it. You know, I read a lot. I stay up on current things. I learn. I write a lot. I've written thousands of pages of notes just as I study and come across things. Always writing new material, always learning new songs. So there you go. That is my beginning on the downbeat. I guess in a lot of ways it's beginning on the upbeat, but hey, whatever, right? But God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please help me grow this thing. Click subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell because I'm on at least 4 times a week, 5 times a week. You want to be updated when that is. Be here today at 1 o'clock. It's going to be a good video. And I'm going to be answering something that you guys asked the most. And other than that, please share any videos you like. Anything that encourages you. Spread it around. Encourage your friends to come and subscribe. God bless you guys. See you in a little while. Bye-bye.